Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to fundamentally shift your perspective on romance, relationships, and really your own self-worth. If you've ever found yourself repeatedly asking a partner how they feel about you, or, maybe you've been on the receiving end of that relentless questioning yourself, today's material is going to be absolutely eye-opening. We're looking closely at why constantly asking for love is actually a symptom of personal stagnation, rather than, say, a sign of some deep, sweeping romance. It's a fascinating breakdown of human behavior, and we're going to explore the whole shebang right here.
Okay, let's dive into a question I think we're all pretty familiar with. Do you love me? Now, it seems so innocent, right? Just a sweet little reassurance between partners, but I really want you to ask yourself, as we look at the source material's take on this, are you demanding this validation because you have this profound, overflowing connection, or is it simply because you feel incredibly empty inside? The source basically challenges us to look in the mirror here. It argues that this frequent need to confirm love doesn't actually have much to do with the other person at all. Instead, it's a glaring indicator of our own internal state.
So here's how we're breaking things down today. First up, we'll look at the illusion of checking love. Second, fake answers and fading hearts. Third, how to stop clinging and grow your skills. Fourth, reading the world to fill yourself. And finally, how true connections actually arrive.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the illusion of checking love and how to recognize emotional thirst.
The source material completely redefines something society usually romanticizes. It says that constantly checking your partner's feelings means you're fundamentally hungry. You're in this state of emotional thirst, and more importantly, it signifies a lack of personal skill to focus on your own life's work. See, when you don't have your own focus, your own goals, or your own capabilities engaging you, you end up projecting that emptiness onto your partner. You're using them as an emotional crutch because you aren't actively fulfilling your own duties. You're basically trying to fill a void in yourself by extracting a feeling from someone else.
And that brings us to a core philosophy of our source material, which is this: love is generated naturally. It is never extracted by force or greed. Think about that for a second. When you try to extract love out of greed, when you demand it, force it, or constantly check up on it, you aren't letting it generate naturally through your own capable actions. Actually, worse than that, you're wasting the very time you desperately need to be improving yourself. True love is a byproduct of living well, of being capable and doing your part. It's an organic response to who you are. It's definitely not something you can just demand like some kind of toll on a highway.
Which brings us to part 2, fake answers and fading hearts. This is the harsh reality of forced validation. This dynamic builds along a very predictable breakup trajectory. First, you feel insecure, which, again, is time wasted not building yourself up. Second, you start asking, do you love me? Third, and this is the painful part, your partner fakes a response. They say yes just to appease you. And fourth, your partner leaves when the conditions are right. They sense you drifting from your own path, you demand validation to cover that up, they lie to keep the peace, and secretly, they begin plotting their exit, just waiting for the absolute right moment to walk away. This crucial point is captured so perfectly in this quote from the source material. The sound of "darling, do you love me" feels like a devil's screech. They are already preparing to leave. I mean, yikes, right? To the suffocated partner, this needy nagging isn't cute at all. It's perceived as this creepy, screeching sound. Any "I love you" they offer in response is completely fake. They're just buying time, waiting for the perfect conditions to finally escape the relationship. The source notes that if someone constantly asks this, the partner has absolutely never truly felt love in those moments. They're literally just saying it out of obligation while heading for the door.
So, what's the fix? That's part 3. Stop clinging and grow your skills. It's all about pivoting to personal growth.
Instead of obsessing over a fading romance, you've got to silently focus on your own responsibilities. Do your duties without complaint. Utilize your free time to build your own intellectual capabilities. Every single minute you spend wondering if someone loves you is a minute you could have spent making yourself undeniable. The source argues that when you're deeply engaged in your own work and constantly leveling up your skills, you don't even have the time, or the instinct really, to worry about whether someone is validating you. Your confidence simply comes from your capability.
Moving right along to part 4, read the world and fill yourself. Let's talk about some practical steps for intellectual fulfillment.
This source outlines a highly practical, everyday approach here. Doing menial chores like washing dishes simply signifies you aren't utilizing higher skills yet. So what do? Step 1. Finish those chores quickly. Don't linger on them. Step 2. Sit at your computer. Step 3. Dive into news and knowledge platforms. And step 4, analyze the world. By reading the news, looking at the economy, and exploring knowledge sites, you elevate your mind. This simple act of observing and trying to understand society helps you build the skills necessary to fill that inner void all by yourself.
And this really shifts how we should view modern technology. The internet is your gateway to understanding the world, not just a toy for mindless games like Ghost Stop or endless scrolling. Especially for those managing a household, the computer is the ultimate tool for absorbing summarized knowledge. The source points out that others have already done the hard work of summarizing global events and deep knowledge. You just have to sit there and absorb it. Provided you strictly avoid playing games and instead study how the world operates, you'll rapidly increase your intellectual capacity and erase that feeling of emptiness for good.
And finally, Part 5, how true connections arrive and how to attract love and opportunity naturally. Look at the sheer contrast here. It's literally night and day. On the left, we have the old way, begging for love, feeling empty, and clinging to a partner. As we've seen, that just leads to isolation and fake relationships. On the right, the new way, building skills, attracting opportunities, and being naturally loved. The desperate, empty version of yourself repels people, but the empowered, knowledgeable version of yourself, that person naturally attracts profound respect and genuine affection, without ever having to ask for it.
When you apply this, it leads to real-world results. The source guarantees that if you build your skills, the universe rewards capability. It's basically a law. Meaningful work naturally arrives. Maybe an opportunity comes through your spouse, or a friend brings you an exciting new project. Capable people are never left idle. If you have the skills, you're going to be put to use. You'll connect through mutual respect rather than neediness. And best of all, true love is given without asking. You will never need to ask, "Do you love me?" because it'll be undeniably obvious just by looking into their eyes. So I'll leave you with this. It all comes down to a choice. Are you going to keep begging for an empty "I love you," or will you start building your skills today? Your time is way too precious to waste on emotional thirst. So go ahead, read the world, do your duties, and let true connection find the newly empowered you.